What's going on, guys? Gomes here back again on another MLB The Show 18 Diamond Dynasty video, and today I want to talk about something that I think is really important basically to MLB The Show's health in this year and especially coming into next year in MLB The Show 19, and that is of course ranked seasons. Of course some people do really like the ranked seasons, but personally I think it leaves a lot to be desired, to be honest with you. If you guys have been around since MLB The Show 16, if you guys remember how online play was then, it was really bad because, you know, really you only played to get up a leaderboard. There wasn't really any kind of like rewards or anything like that, so a lot of people didn't like it. MLB 17, they came out with ranked seasons, which was pretty much identical to this, but honestly I feel like last year actually had better rewards, and that's simply because and I talked about it in my video yesterday. They had multiple cards per season. They had multiple cards. Right now we only get one, and I'm pretty sure they still had like the live series diamond packs. I think I could be wrong on that fact, but I remember one season during the summer we had four cards, 3 diamonds and 2 99 overalls being ranked seasons rewards. So I thought they were a lot better last year, and there were more cards, but nonetheless, I think they really could change some things to rank seasons to make it a lot better. Right now, a couple of the glaring problems with it is it lasts a whole month, and the problem with that is there's a lot of people, especially with the fact that if you make World Series, they start you off at 700 or 750, one of the two. I've never made World Series, I don't know the exact figure, but anyway, you start off already right there. So if you're a good player, you're gonna get there within, you know, 5-10 games maximum, I would say, and already you're at 900, which is World Series. And the big problem with that is there's no incentive to go anywhere after the 900 mark to get the World Series. Having a 2000 rating according to, or a 2000 rating opposed to like a 900 rating, it doesn't really do anything but, you know, give you bragging rights on the leaderboards, which is fine, which is good, but there's no other rewards. There's nothing. You know, somebody could be 1,000 points ahead of you and you're not going to get anything special. And also another thing that I do not like about it is if you do that within like the first week, there's no point to play ranked seasons until the next month and repeat the cycle, rinse and repeat, play 5-10 games, get World Series, and not touch ranked seasons again for another 3-4 weeks. That's really what I think is the major problem with that, and I've been thinking about this for a while, and I actually came up with what I think would be a very good system for them to go with ranked seasons. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. I really don't have a name to call it. I really don't think that matters, but the ideas are there. In my opinion, that's the important part. But anyway, basically in my ideal ranked seasons, what would happen is it is still going to have division ties. Of course, you know, like spring training, regular season, all of these, that would stay the same, and it's a system already in place. It's a system used in pretty much every other game, and I think it's good. They would not have to change that, although I like what Madden does in the fact that they have 2 strings of each one. So have 2 strings of spring training, 2 strings of regular season, 2 strings of all-star, all the way up to World Series, just so there's more places to go, because in this system you would be leveling up a lot quicker, as you guys will you know, hear and find out in a second. But my proposition is basically that you would be playing an 8-game season, so it's gonna kind of be like Battle Royale more so in a sense, but it's basically going to be an 8-game season, right? In which case that's what you call the regular season, and then there's a postseason after that. If you guys have played Madden, it is kind of similar to I think it's just called head-to-head ranked, I believe. It's pretty similar to that, where you have a regular season and then you have a postseason that you go on to after. I don't know exact figures, but with this kind of thing that I drew up, this is kind of what I think I would do. If there was an 8-game season, you'd need to win 5 or 6 games to go to the wild card. But if you win 7 or more, you know, if you win 7 games, then you skip the wild card and then you play 1 game which would act as the divisional series game, another game for the championship series game, and another game for the World Series. And I know it's, of course, that kind of sounds more like football, where it's like a one-game playoff, but a wild card game in MLB actually is a one-game, you know, playoff. So they do have one-game playoffs in the MLB, and it really wouldn't work to do like a best of 7, at least in this system, which you guys will find out in a second. And there is basically a way to demote yourself. So like I said, there's an 8-game season where you can make the playoffs, and with the playoffs you go on and you try to get all the way up to the World Series basically. And once you win that World Series, that's kind of the end of your season. So it's gonna be more like a battle royale or an event run. It will not have a monthly cap, kind of like this. It will not go on for a whole month. You play it at your own pace, which is something, like I said, I think would be a lot better, because right now, you know, if you get to, even if you are fine with getting championship series and you finish that by like the 15th, halfway through the month, there's no point to play the game, or rank seasons at least, the rest of that month. So that would be getting rid of that. You could be playing it non-stop at your own pace, just like BR, which I really do like. And that's pretty much how it would go. So basically, if you made the playoffs, you would be advancing up a tier. So you start off in Spring Training 2, you move up to Spring Training 1, then you go to Regular Season 2, Regular Season 1, and you keep going up the ladder. But like I said, there is a way to get demoted, just like there is now and in Madden. And once again, don't have exact figures, but I think like if you lose 5 games out of an 8-game season, so if you go like 3-5, I think that would be in case where you get demoted. And they could kind of adjust it based on like the tier, where like if you're in World Series 1, you have to win like at least 5 games not to get demoted. They can work things out like that, but I think this is a pretty good basis. And I hope this is making sense to you guys. Basically, I'll go through it one more time. It's an 8-game season that you play through, and you try to win as many games as you can, and then you would move on to the postseason of that kind of run. So if you win 7+ games, you go right to the what you would call the division series game, then the championship series game, and then the World Series game. But if you only win 5 to 6, you go to the wild card, and you have to keep playing through those. But once you get into the postseason, if you lose a game, you are out and you have to restart. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. If you have any more questions and comments about it, make sure to leave them down below in the comments. It is kind of hard to explain out in words. Of course, I don't really have a graphic to show you guys or anything like that, but I'll gladly explain it as much as I can down below in the comments. And basically, this is how rewards would work. Of course, without the monthly cap, everything that you're seeing on the screen would pretty much be erased. That's really not going to happen. They're going to have a different reward tier, and the reason for that is just because the way this works right now, you have to wait a month, and I really don't like that. I really don't like that at all. I think it takes too long, because like I said, if you make World Series within the first week or 2, there's no point to play after. So basically, this is how I would suggest the rewards would go. They would keep the idea of having like the exclusive reward, as you guys can see, the 95 Luis Gonzalez. And granted, I hope they make the rank season rewards better next year, but that's a different story. And basically, this is how it would work. Every you know, in that season, you would earn something called, in Madden, you earn trophies. So to keep it not the same as Madden, we're going to call them rings. So let's say for winning a World Series, you get 10 rings. For, you know, making the playoffs, you get 5 rings. And once again, the numbers aren't exact. They would have to work it out. But basically, you would get like trophies or tokens, or hell, even souvenirs if they want to keep that in. You get souvenirs for winning a certain amount of game, and it will be adjusted based on tiers. So winning the World Series at Spring Training will not net you the same amount of trophies at World Series, if that makes any sense. And basically, that exclusive reward can be unlocked through rings. So Luis Gonzalez, for example, he would cost you 75 rings that you can only get during ranked seasons. So once again, as this works right now, the only way you can unlock these cards are through ranked seasons, and I think that is a good way to go. I would not want them to have those be in events or battle royale, but let's say like 75 rings. And another cool feature that Madden does that MLB I think really could do and take advantage of is, for example, the Luis Gonzalez would be 75 rings that you earn during ranked seasons, and that one is sellable, but you can have one that is not sellable for 55 rings. So for example, it's going to cost you 20 less rings, but you just cannot sell the card. So if you really want the card, if he's your favorite player of all time and you don't really care to sell him, and you either don't have the time or you're just not quite skilled enough to get those 75 rings, you can get the card, you just will not be able to sell them. And I think there's a lot of room for rewards to be really good, and they can add in more per season as well. For example, let's say, of course 90 Robinson Cano is already in the game, but let's say they added him as another ranked seasons reward. He would be 55 rings, and to get his NAT or non-sellable card is 40 rings. And they would have a bunch of different stuff like this, and you will still get rewarded, you know, with XP, stubs, and loot like that during while you're playing the games. I think that should be increased, actually, to be honest with you. So basically, by playing the games in itself, you get rings and loot, and the rings you earn can unlock different stuff like the exclusive reward. And I think honestly, it would be a good idea to have like a diamond pack that you could get, just like there is right now. Say maybe 40 rings, you get an 89 plus live series diamond pack, and 30 rings, you get an 85 to 88 overall live series diamond pack. Just a bunch of different rewards that you can kind of choose what you want. I think that is what would make ranked seasons really engaging and really a lot more fun, because like I said, it takes off the fact that you have to wait so long to be able to get your rewards, because if you get World Series right away, you have to wait until the end of the month to get them, and it gives you purpose to play all the time, and you can play it at your own pace, and you can also really stack up on making a lot of stubs, which a lot of people complain about this game being pay to win and moving to that market. This is a perfect way to be able to make a lot of stubs playing the game, because you could basically just be playing a lot of ranked seasons and you could keep getting that Luis Gonzalez and keep selling him. So I think this would be really a good idea, and I think it would make ranked seasons and honestly the whole mode of Diamond Dynasty a lot more fun, engaging, and just a lot more enjoyable, a lot more interactive for everybody. And they can work out more stuff. I'd be glad to answer more questions and comments down below. As always, like I said, I've really been thinking about this for a while, and I think it would be a great system that they could put into place. And like I said, it would be a lot better than what we have now. So once again, any more questions, comments, concerns, anything of that matter, make sure to leave them down below in the comments. If you have your own suggestions on some things that you would like to see changed to ranked seasons, either the one currently in place or my idea, make sure to leave them down below in the comments as well. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like down below, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and later you guys comes out. Yay.
Love is love and hate is hate. To die is an awesome adventure and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone. You know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory.